And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and I am bringing the tier list back early. We're going to start with the point guard tier today in NBA 2K21. My team, we're going to be ranking all of the point guards available in my team from S tier to trash tier. Let's get into the parameters. You like how I do my game show voice? I've been working on it. It's going okay. Not great, but whatever. S tier, unquestionable best cards in the game. I mean, there's going to be some cards that you agree with here. There's going to be cards that you don't. That's just the nature of the game. I mean, it is what it is. A tier, just a shade under S tier. I'll try my best to explain why those cards specifically are not in S tier and why they are in A tier instead. Most likely, you're going to disagree with a couple of these. Just be chill about it. B tier, very good cards. I mean, majority of the community are going to use these guys in some fashion, so you know, none of these guys are going to be too surprising. C tier guys, maybe there's a few things wrong with them that keep them out of B tier. I'll talk about those things, you know, as we go along. But I think for the most part, they all kind of deserve to be right in the middle of the pack. Still usable by some people, but for the majority of the player base, aren't going to be huge upgrades, if that makes sense. D tier cards. Very good cards, or at least they used to be in some way, shape, or form. A lot of your, for lack of better terms, like glass cannon guys, that play like no defense, but can score, and vice versa. A lot of your guys who are really good cards, but maybe they're just like small or something of that nature, or they were good cards, but now they're just kind of outdated, will end up here. F tier, I mean, if you can use them and you want to use them, go for it. Other than that, I would probably upgrade a little bit. And trash tier, guys that for the most part, I recommend upgrading immediately if they are in your starting lineup. So, a couple more parameters. I try to do both current and next gen as far as rankings, and I try to do and factor in a variety of play styles and stuff like that. Parameter number 3, it's 95 degrees inside of my room, so it's pretty hot. So give me a break if I look like I'm a wax mannequin melting, okay? First up, we got Andre Miller. Trash. I just think there's better cards at pretty much every position. IBC. Fire. Anyways, I just think there's a lot better cards at the position than Andre Miller. Even though he was like a pretty okay free card, I think even when he came out, he wasn't really that great. And it's been a couple months. So, you know, I don't think anyone's arguing with me about Andre Miller and trash tier, right? I would hope not. That's just me, though. Let's see. Invincible Penny Hardaway. S tier. No question. This is one of the best point guards in the game. I don't think there's really too many people that are going to argue against that. Every penny card that we've gotten this year, past, I believe, the Ruby, because the Ruby came after the Pink Diamond. So even that card's like pretty good for a Ruby point guard, but the Opal and Dark Matter pennies are next level as far as how good they are. This is literally one of the top point guards in the game. I don't think that's likely to change before the game ends, you know? Anthony Simons. I like this card, but he's probably F tier. Like all things considered, it just kind of depends. I think a lot of the guys in D tier are probably better than him. He's just outdated, but he's still better than Andre Miller. Baron Davis, trash. I actually thought I deleted this card, but apparently there must have been 2 of them. Either way, trash tier. I don't even care. Cam Payne. He's better than Anthony Simons, so I would put him in D tier, but he's not really that good. Chauncey Billups. C tier, I mean, he's a good defender. He's basically the point guard equivalent of Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman. Really good defender, pretty slow jump shot. He'll be towards the bottom of C tier at the end of this, I think, personally, but he's still okay, though. I'm not going to disrespect my boy Chauncey Billups like that. Pantheon Chris Paul. Similar thing to Chauncey Billups. He's small, so he'll end up towards the bottom of C tier by the end of this list, I believe, but he's better than Cam Payne for sure. Chris Webber, I mean, better than Cam Payne. I would put him like bottom of C tier as well. Clem Haskins, F. Like, you're tripping if you really wouldn't use Cam Payne over Clem Haskins at this point in the year. For lower overall reasons, maybe. I don't know why I rose the roof right there, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but there's no way. You're not going to argue that with me. It's not happening. Cole Anthony. I mean, he's small, but he's decent, you know? I would put him in D tier. Triple Threat Dame. Same as the Space Jam Dame. I'm kind of using both of them as an allegory for each other. So same card, I would put him like mean, maybe I would put Space Jam Dame because he's a little bit better at the bottom of C tier, but I would put Dame in D. He's just not very good this year. His Opal was really good when he came out, though. D'Angelo Russell, C tier. He's still really good. I know people who still use him, and I don't blame them for it because he's still a pretty solid point guard, all things considered. Darius Garland, yeah. This is one of the reward cards, by the way, so his badge count is super low, if you guys aren't aware. F. De'Aaron Fox. I would put him in C. I still think the guys up in B tier might be a little better than him. He's just a shade too small at 6'3", but he's still really, really talented, really fast, like just an overall good card. Deontay Murray. All right, wait, where did he just go? Controversial pick. I think he deserves to be in B tier. At the very low end of B tier, and he could drop to C tier. But I actually would use Deontay Murray over all of these C tier guys. That's just my own opinion. Obviously, you're not going to agree with everything I say, but I try to be as unbiased as possible. So, DeMarcus Cousins. He's one of the most underrated cards from this year, in my opinion anyway. I would put him in B tier. I think he is slightly better than Murray. Is he going to be one of the top B tier cards? No. He'll be towards the bottom. Remember, I do rank them all in each tier as well. So, like, De'Aaron Fox is the best card in C tier. Chris Paul would be the worst. That makes sense. Dame's the best here. Cole Anthony's probably the worst in D tier, and so on and so forth. So, Wes Unseld. B. Come on, bro. This is a cheap ludes list. Wes Unseld is not coming out of B tier. It's not happening. I still use this card. I enjoy him so much. That Kobe base, he's got a really thick player build, 6'7", good size. Like, what's not to love, dude? Literally, what's not to love about Wes Unseld? It's a monster. Schroeder, trash. Dennis Smith Jr., I would put him in F. Like, he's a worse version of these three guys, basically. Jamal Murray. I actually like this card a lot more than some people do. I would put him, like, low-end B tier with, like, Deontay Murray and DeMarcus Cousins. Subject to move down, I would say. Murray has much better steal animation, so I would probably use this Murray over this one, personally. But, I don't know, man. I put him, like, low-end B tier, I think. Darren Williams. I mean, he can't be that much lower than Chris Paul. I'd put him C. Derrick Rose. D Rose is still good. I would put him, like, towards the bottom of D tier. He's still better than all these guys in F, you know? Devonte Graham. Probably another controversial one because he is small. But C tier. Really, really good card. Like, explosive offensive player. Kind of small. Doesn't play a whole lot of defense, but fun card nonetheless. Don Boucher. I mean, he's a white guy with a Jerry curl. That always helps your case. Probably F, though, if we're being honest. Manuel Moody. I actually like this card a lot. I would put him in C tier. I'm probably a bigger fan of this card than a lot of people are, but I still do like him, so I would put him in C tier. Eric Bledsoe. F. Yeah, F tier makes sense for him. Facundo Campazzo. D. He is basically an upgraded version of Juan Carlos Navarro. Is basically the best way I can describe him. Base 98, or Dwayne Wade base. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but they're the same thing. 5'10", so he's a wee little guy, but he can hold it down. If I'm taller than you in the NBA, I give you so much props. Like, I'm only 6'1", dude. I'm, like, not that tall. Fat Lever. Fat Lever's still decent. I put him, like, D tier. Somewhere around there. Same with Frank. I think Frank's the best card in D tier. I don't think he deserves to be up in C tier, though. Like, for his lack of hot zones and lack of badges and stuff, and the fact that 2K never let me have him. Downtown Fred Brown. Don Boucher level, F. He's still better than the trash tier guys. Same with Fred VanVleet. That hurts. They need to give my boy Fred a new card ASAP. He won't be that groundbreaking or anything, but I'd like to use it. Pantheon Magic, A tier. Don't think he's quite S because of that jump shot as much as I and a lot of people do like it. A vast majority of the player base is not going to gel with that jump shot, and I think that is the only thing that ever keeps Magic out of S tier. He's still a beast, though. I'm a big fan of this card, personally. For me, he'd be S tier, but for everyone else, I'd say A. Not like I'm a world talent or anything, but, just for my play style personally and how I play the game, my rankings would be a little different if it was based on that sometimes. Gary Payton, the glove. Best card in C tier. I like this card a lot. For me personally, he's probably B tier, but C tier, I would say. Louis Dampier, he's the best card in F tier. He's just so small, dude. But he doesn't have a really quick jump shot like Facundo does that offsets his lack of height, really. Really cool mustache, though. Really looks like Vinny Del Negro. I don't know if are they related? I'm not sure. They look similar, though. Malcolm Brogdon. I think Brogdon's B tier. He's good. A little expensive sometimes, but I still think he deserves to be in B tier. Some of these guys are going to get pushed out of B tier as more B tier guys flow in here, because I know there's a lot more guys I'm going to put in here. But just keep in mind that they're ranked within the tier. So Wes Unseld is not as good as Jamal Murray. Does that make sense? Wes Unseld is the best card in B tier, where Jamal Murray is the worst right now. So, there is a separation between them. I have to keep reminding people this because people always seem to either forget this or don't want to acknowledge this when they comment during tier lists, Giannis. I mean, he's S tier. I feel like I don't need to explain away this. It's Giannis that plays point guard and can shoot threes, with pretty much max badge count. The only way this card is getting supplanted as one of the best point guards in the game is if an invincible point guard Giannis comes out, and even then he's still a top point guard, Gilbert Arenas. I would say, yeah, I mean, if I got Devonte Graham over here, he's not much different than Devonte Graham. Same jump shot base and everything. I would put middle to low C tier. Goran Dragic. F. I mean, he's all right, but I still think these guys in D are a little bit better. And the guys that will end up in D are probably going to be better, too. Grant Hill. Grant Hill's still really good. I would say B tier. I've been using him a lot recently because I have one with an unlimited contract, so I've been using him for domination. Just because I use as many unlimited contract guys as possible. And I'm having a lot of fun with the card. He still holds up. Still a very good card. Hal Greer. F. It's not that good. Trust me, I just used an all-Sixers squad in domination as well. Did not have a fun time with Hal Greer. So maybe I'm biased. Nah, I'm not biased. I don't think anyone's going to jump on me for Hal Greer takes. Hedo Turkoglu, B. Now, look, it depends how you feel about Base 98. If you like Base 98 a lot, you're going to say he deserves to be A tier, possibly even S. But I think B tier is very appropriate for Hedo. He does feel sluggish at times on both gens. Base 98, especially on current gen, is because it's so quick, it's very susceptible to latency issues. So it's a very inconsistent jump shot, in my opinion. You'll notice that while using guys like Andrei Kirilenko and Hedo Turkoglu, that sometimes you swear your timing is on point, but you're just not greening shots with these guys like you were a game prior. And that has a lot to do with Base 98 and the lag issues on 2K servers. So for that reason, I would put him in B tier. And he doesn't come with the physical advantages of Andrei Kirilenko, which kind of make him overcome that by being just such a dominant defender and dominant rim attacker and being able to move so well. It's not like Hedo's terrible at movement. It's just not the same as AK-47, you know what I mean? Amman Shumpert. Nah, I can't put Shumpert any lower than D. I like this card a lot. I would use him over all the F tier guys. Isaiah. Yeah, he's just so small. He's just so small, dude. He's 5'9". Chris Paul has a whole 3 inches on him. Almost 4. So, as much as because I do enjoy this card. That's the thing. I like this Isaiah Thomas card. I've been playing around with him a lot, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But he's just so small, and at this stage, dude, people are running 7-foot point guards. You cannot be rolling Isaiah Thomas out there. You're going to get killed. I wish you could. I really wish we played in a 2K, years prior, where you could run small point guards, but it's just not the case. Jalen Rose. Okay. B tier. This card is insane. I personally would use him over Hedo Turkoglu at the point guard position. That's just me. I think for me, Jalen Rose is the best card in B tier, but I will concede that Hedo may be a little bit better, or Hedo, can never remember. Hedo sounds like a jet ski. I don't know. Jalen Rose is probably, I can't say for certain he's better than Turkoglu, but for me, in my heart, he is. I'll put him right here in B tier, though. He's an upper echelon B tier guy. Luka? Yeah, I mean, Luka's S tier. I feel like that's pretty near universal. I'm not really going to explain that one away. Exum base, 6'7". Just a good card. Great card, I should say. Lamar Odom, come on, bro. You know where Lamar's going. B tier. For sure. I think, he's better than Wes Unseld, I think. He's better than Grant Hill. Yeah, I would put him, like, right here. He's going to end up falling down. He'll probably end up being, like, either at the middle of the pack, probably, or, like, towards the end. Because I know there's a bunch of guys I haven't even ranked yet, but Lamar Odom's the truth. Ja Morant. Ja's still good. I put him, like, C tier. Just a little bit small. That's it. And trust me, all these cards, if 2K's... I don't want to say they're meta, but if their gameplay was a little different, you could see any of these C tier guys. There was just a couple gameplay tweaks. You could see these guys up in B tier. Like, if 2K had speed down correctly, where a bigger the guy is, the slower they move down the court, etc., and it gave an advantage to, like, using smaller point guards, you would see a lot of these C tier guys up in B and almost A tier. You know what I mean? Markelle Fultz. He's basically like a better Steph Curry, so I'd put him, like, right here. I actually like this card a lot, so I'd put him, like, upper C tier for now. Jason Kidd, abysmally slow jump shot, but everything else he does is pretty good. Plays good defense, decent size. It's a jump shot you can green pretty easily, but it's just slow. He's like a Scottie Pippen-esque point guard, similar to Chauncey Billups. But, like, Chauncey's jump shot is definitely better than Jason Kidd's. There's nothing I can say there. Magic Johnson. Invincible Magic and this Pantheon Magic are essentially the same card, so I'll put them both in A tier for that reason. Like, I can't even do that thing I normally do where, like, I'll take the lesser version and, like, demote them, because these cards are almost the exact same. So, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo's still C tier after all this time. Like, that's crazy. Kobe, I don't like him that much at the point guard position, but he's still, like, not going to go into C tier. Like, he's still B tier. He's all right. Jason Terry. Where's Hal Greer at? Yeah, F tier. Whatever. Jason White Chocolate Williams. Yeah, D tier. I don't think this card is as bad as everyone thought it was when it came out. I still would put it in D tier because he doesn't play, like, any defense or anything, but still, you know. Jeremy Lin, this one actually hurts me, but D tier. Yeah, dude, I don't know what they did to this card, but he is not good. You know what? Nah, I can't do that. I put him, like, by Darren Williams and Chris Paul. Yeah, I can't do that to my boy Jalen. But they did do something to this card. He just doesn't feel like he did last year. Last year, he felt like, even though he was small, he felt good. This year, he just feels sluggish. His jump shot is weird. I don't like it. Vlade Divac. Bottom C tier. He's still a 7-foot tall point guard that can shoot pretty well, and he's, like, real husky, which I respect. So, yeah, C tier. Jerry West, controversial. I think this one's going to be controversial as well, but because he's a little point guard, so people don't want to, like, give credit to little point guards, but Jerry West is, like, B tier. He's, like, the apex little point guard. Like, this Jerry West is really good. I'd put him ahead of Brogdon, honestly. I would put him ahead of Kobe and DeMarcus Cousins. I don't even care. I'll put him right there. Fine, fight me. What else we got? Zion, I think he's, like, tippy top of C tier, but I don't think he's quite B tier level. I'll probably end up moving Murray or both of them down at some point. We'll see. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers real quick. Yuta, trash. Damian Lillard, C tier. Invincible Dame's good and everything. Dame feels really sluggish. I've been using this card a lot, and I gotta say I'll use every card in B tier over him in a competitive setting for sure. I don't think there's really anything. No, I can't argue that. Joakim, he's big, F instead of trash. John Stockton. John Stockton's actually pretty good, but I'd put him, like, right over here in D tier. Where my white boy's at, right here. Throw Facundo over there too. Yeah, Facundo's, like, Spanish, so I don't know why I'm claiming him right now. Whatever. John Wall. Wall's still pretty good. I would put him, like, by Chauncey, D'Angelo Russell area. C tier. Drew Holiday. He's really good defensively, so I'd probably put him over by, like, Moody. He's still a very usable point guard, though I would still use all the guys ahead of him. And in most situations, I'd probably use like Gilbert Arenas and Devonte Graham for their scoring ability. But defensively, like, he's still a really fun card to use. I'll put him by like Vlade Divac. Yeah, I'll put him at the end of C tier. Alex Caruso, Apex white guy. I'll throw him like right here. Shout out to Caruso. My man has a charge now. Street cred. Way tighter than Tyler Hero. Kendrick Nunn. Yeah, he's one of the reward cards. He's not very good. I'd put him like F. Shout out to my boy Kendrick Nunn from Illinois, though. Kobe White. Where's Markelle Fultz? Yeah, like right there. C tier. Kevin Johnson. I would throw him in D tier. He's not bad. He's just not great. Kira Lewis Jr. Bottom of D tier. He's not a bad card at all. He's just really small. But he's not terrible. Colin Sexton. Right by Markelle Fultz and Kobe White. Like right there. Colin Sexton cards have been really good this year. It's kind of shocking. But yeah, Colin's good. I'll put him right there. This one hurts my soul on a level that I don't think I can possibly communicate. I'm sorry, Captain Kirk. This card sucks, dude. At this point, like when he came out, he was a really fun card to use. Especially with that base 22 on quick. That was pretty solid. But at the same time, like, he's just, I don't know, they made him super sluggish, and he just doesn't feel very good at all. And for the most part, I would use a bunch of these cards in F tier over him. Nah, I can't do it. Nope. I just looked and I saw Don Bussy and Fred Brown. Nah, Kirk Heinrich is out here. F tier. I don't even care. Ben Simmons. Okay. I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers with this one too. Ben Simmons A tier. I think that there's just so many good big point guards at this point that I think Ben Simmons' value has kind of fallen down. He's still definitely a top 10 point guard in this game, potentially a top 5. I just think he's not on the level of Giannis, Penny, and Luka, but for certain people he is. But I think for the majority of the player base, Ben Simmons is probably around A tier. For certain people, definitely better than Magic Johnson. For other people, not really. Jump shot's kind of an issue with Ben Simmons too, in my opinion. So, I don't know. You'll let me know down in the comments if you don't agree. Kyrie, I do not like this card, but he's not like F tier level. But that's just me. Starberry, throw him D tier as well. He's like a better this Derrick Rose, basically. Invincible Steph. Now, I don't think this card is really that incredibly good. I'd put him by Invincible Dame. He's better than Invincible Dame, though. He's not as good as Jerry West. I don't care what anyone says on that. If you like Invincible Steph, like, I respect that, and if you're good with him, definitely go for him. I just think this is an appropriate place for him. I'm going to drop Jamal Murray, though. I don't, as much as I like this card, I just don't think he's on par with some of these guys in B tier. Deontay Murray, which I hope I'm saying that right. I know I've been corrected like a million times, but I still say it wrong all the time. He's definitely good enough to be in B tier. I like that card so much. I'm probably overly biased on it, but it's fine. LaMelo Ball, A tier. I personally think he's the best point guard in A tier. Not quite as good as these guys in S, but I think he is. Yeah, overall, I think he's better than Ben Simmons and Magic Johnson. LaMelo's a beast, dude. Like, straight up. Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, good thing I dropped Jamal Murray, because Tyrese Halliburton is better than Jamal Murray. So I feel good about putting him here. I would actually I would do this. That looks more appropriate. Halliburton's really, really good. One of the best budget point guards in this game, if I do say so myself. Let's see what else we got. Walt Frazier. Yo, Walt Frazier is tight, dude. C tier. That Joe Ingles base, really nice still. Walt Frazier this year has been not given a lot of love with the cards, but still, when he does get a card, they're very good. Look at all these cards that we haven't got new versions of, and yet we're still getting like 18 Chris Pauls and like 18 LeBrons and stuff. 2K. Point guard Larry Bird. I would put him like C tier. I don't think he's quite B tier. He's solid, though. If you're good with him, he's probably B tier for you, but overall, I think that's where he belongs. Okay, once again, probably people are not going to agree with this, but point guard LeBron is B tier. Yeah, I'm doing it. I don't even care. Jalen Rose is better. No, okay. I'm tripping. For me, Jalen Rose is better, but I'll put LeBron right here. Hito might be better. I don't know. That's too dependent on personal bias. So I'm not going to try to rank that. This John Morant, yeah, it's the exact same as this one, so I put him right here. Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is B tier. He's the best card in B tier, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that. Once again, a lot of this has to do with biases, because all these cards, or wait, is it biases? Biases? No, it's like a diocese, like a church thing. Whatever. Lonzo's like, I don't know. He's everything his brother is, but just a little bit less and a little bit smaller. A more condensed version, if you will. Still really good. Way more well-balanced than someone like Hito or LeBron or Jalen Rose, in my opinion. Super fire, dude. Lonzo's tight. You can get him for like 35K. It's a crime. Luka. Right by Lonzo Ball. Still in C tier. Mark Price. It's better than Yuta Tabusa. Invincible Derrick Rose, right by Dame and Steph Curry. I think he's the best out of the three. But, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think about that ranking. I'm not really sure. I personally prefer Derrick Rose as a Bulls fan and just in-game in general. Out of the three little guy invincibles right here, I would rank them Derrick Rose, Stephen Curry, and then Damian Lillard. I'm almost tempted to put Derrick Rose up in Jerry West's area because I think that... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. Now, I'm going to think on that one. I'm going to think on it. Michael Adams, F. He's just... No, I mean, he's not that much different than Facundo Campazzo, D tier. Jalen Brunson, F. It was all fun and games for a second. Michael Carter-Williams. No joke, I'd put him in C tier. Like, he's actually really good. I think so, anyway. Shoot me. I don't know. He's good. Rondo. Yeah, right over here somewhere in C tier. That base 32 is really good, and this card's decent. His challenge isn't that hard either, so... Kemba Walker. Yeah, I mean, D. Not a big fan. Don Ole. D. MJ. That's a tough one. I would put him like B tier right here. I don't think he's quite A tier. Michael Jordan just... I don't know what 2K does to Michael Jordan. He just hasn't been good in the last few 2Ks. I mean, he's been, like, good. I don't know what words were about to come out of my mouth just now, but I think I need a little bit more root beer. But, I mean, he's been solid enough, you know. It's just he's not as dominant as he has been in past or prior 2Ks. And I kind of wish he was, but what can you do? I can only rank them. I don't make them. Michael Ray Richardson. Controversial? C. Very good card. Plays great defense. He has a pretty decent jump shot. He's a fun card to use, too. Mike Bibby. Trash. Sam Cassell. D tier. He's not terrible, not great. Mike Conley. I'd throw him in D tier as well. Up here somewhere. He's all right. Monte Morris. I mean, he's a reward card, but he's not that bad. He has Trey Burke base, which is pretty decent, so I'll put him like the bottom of D tier. Terrible badge count, though. Nate Archibald, if they gave him hot zones, maybe he'd be C tier, but yeah, they didn't really do him any favors, so I'd put him in like D. Yeah, I would put him in D. Nico Manion. Shout out to my boy Nico Manion. Yeah, he definitely deserves to go in D tier. By like Cameron Payne. Yeah. Paul George. I don't really like Paul George at the point guard position, personally. You guys know I do rank Paul George cards a little too low sometimes because I'm not the biggest fan of Paul George base. Weirdly enough, I like it on Lamar Odom, though. I just don't like Paul George cards that much. I would still say he's like towards the top of B tier, if not the top of B tier. You can make the argument that he's better than Magic Johnson, and for a lot of you guys, that might be the case. I just think overall Magic Johnson is the superior point guard. If we're talking about which card is the superior card overall, I think Paul George is obviously a superior card overall due to his jump shot. But at the point guard position, I would say Magic Johnson is superior, which is why he's up in A tier. Same with Ben Simmons and LaMelo. But Paul George, close enough, top of B tier. I think that's where he's going to end up staying probably. Tracy McGrady. S tier. No question. You know what? Last year, Tracy McGrady wasn't as good playing shooting guard as he was, or as playing point guard as he was playing the shooting guard position. I really did think that's how that was going to go this year, but it is not the case. Tracy McGrady plays the point guard position expertly. It's actually crazy. I thought for sure he wasn't going to be as good, but I was wrong. Paul George is more of a 3-and-D cone type of player, right? So he doesn't play very well at the point guard position. Kobe Bryant, they didn't really juice him up enough. This T-Mac is cracked out, and he definitely plays the point guard position as well as you'd want him to play it. No complaints. Payton Pritchard, F. Looks like a scrappy, good locker room guy. Not really a great guy for your team, though. Penny Hardaway, still C tier. That's my opinion. Rafer Alston, probably D. And I'll lower him down a little bit, like by Marbury. Kyle Lowry, same thing. Put him right there, yeah. Reggie, I mean, he's not worse than Sam Cassell, right? Reggie Theus, trash. We didn't appreciate this card when he came out, man. He's actually better than I remember, but he's still not good today. Ricky Rubio, better than the trash tier guys, but still F. RJ Hampton, I would put him in C tier. He's still good. I would say he's better than Vlade. He's better than Darren Williams. He's about as good as Alex Caruso. That's a pretty appropriate comparison. Rod Strickland is still better than the trash tier guys. I know it's hard to believe. No, he kind of sucks. I'll put him in trash. Ron Harper. Moutier Rondo level. Nah, I'd put him over here. He's actually good. I like Ron Harper's still fun to use. Like, he's actually a good card. Like, yeah, right over here somewhere with these four guys. They're a little outdated, but still fire. Yeah, let's do that. That's better. That looks much better to me. This one's tough. I am super biased on this card. A. Yeah, I would say A tier for Rudy. I personally, for me, he's S tier, but I think for everyone, A tier makes a little bit more sense. He is basically a version of Paul George that plays the point guard position a little bit better. Also, he's got a longer wingspan. I don't know if that helps. I prefer Rudy base over Paul George base, but that one's really up for debate when it comes to Rudy or Paul George as far as their bases go, but I think Rudy does play the point guard position slightly better than Paul George does. Maybe you don't agree. You probably don't. Russell Westbrook, yeah, C tier somewhere by like John Morant, probably. This Russ, I would put him in B tier. He's still good. These two Russes are basically the exact same. I don't think there's anything really wrong with these guys. They are smaller point guards, but they're deep. They're good. Like, they are. I would put this one over here, probably right ahead of like Murray and Jerry. No, not Jerry West. Yeah, like right there. That works. Jerry West is surprisingly good. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe it's recency bias. I don't know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, B tier for sure. He's still really good. There's a reason this is the only season rewind card that's still expensive. You know? Shake Milton. Decent. Smush Parker. Yeah, trash tier now. At one time, he was a GOAT, though. Spencer Dinwiddie. I would throw Spencer Dinwiddie over here. Yeah, he's one of the better cards in C tier, in my opinion. Very good card. Definitely underrated, for sure. Steve Francis. I mean, D, whatever. Steve Nash. Top of C tier. I didn't realize how many white guys were here in a row. Oops. Terry sucks. I don't. He's actually not that bad. He's just like small and feels kind of sluggish and stuff. He's not that much different than Michael Adams, actually. Like, I can't really say he is. Or like Cole Anthony. I'm just being a hater, I think. I'll put him in C tier. Or D tier, I mean. Theo Maledon. Yeah, where's these guys at? These like run-of-the-mill pink diamonds from the season rewind set. TJ McConnell. He's not trash. He's just like, meh. He's okay. Tony Parker. Yeah, this hurts, but I'd have to throw him in trash tier, I think. No, he's F tier. I don't want to do that to him, but it has to be done. Trae Young. Yeah, D, and Tyrese Maxey, I would throw in D as well. He's a little bit better than like Brunson and Pritchard and those other reward guys. So let me know what you think of the list down below. I think S tier is pretty clear. T-Mac might be the only one that I think is disputable. And like I said, I'm a T-Mac stan. It's hard for me to really... I try to put that bias aside sometimes, but this card is really, really good. A tier... Yeah, Rudy and Magic, I can understand people wanting like Paul George, maybe like LeBron up there. understandable stuff. I think for the most part, though, I'm gonna keep these 3 right here. Jerry West is really good, though. Jerry West is the tough one for me. Just because Derrick Rose is... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care. As always, it's been your boy Cheap Leads. Thanks for watching the tier list. Comment down below what you think, as you guys already do. I know a lot of people like to live text this. Or live comment, I should say. So they don't even let the thing fully like teeter out before voicing their displeasure, which is cool. Check the description for all my stuff, and I'll be back with more tier lists this week. We also got some big news from 2K. I don't know what they're dropping this week, but I guess we'll find out. So, as always, peace out.